Well, it's better than having 47 cruise missiles.
Yeah, I mean that you might as well be getting it on in the chapel at that point.
There was a guy on Instagram the other day. Shout out my boy Sognick. He sent me this clip, but the now famous clip of John Kiriakou on Diary of a CEO, where he told the story about Colin Powell coming to him asking who they would need to assassinate in Iraqi intelligence in the early 1990s and what the address was. And John gives him the address. What about that second link, though, Deef? You already got this one, the Purges footage one.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to cut to the bottom paragraph right there. The top is explaining stuff because we know it's been well documented to this point that obviously the footage, the cameras didn't work in the prison very conveniently, which when John Kiriakou was on episode 388 with us and was talking about his own experience in prison and how the cameras almost never worked and stuff like that, and there were always issues, which I do believe that testimony, of course, because he saw it. But, you know, he was trying to say that therefore these ones didn't work. What I will say is that when I was reviewing a bunch of government documents with one Andrew Bustamante, as it may or may not pertain to the prison, there were a lot of irregularities there that weren't irregular in other parts of the prison.
Nice.
That night.
Nice.
In other similar parts of the prison. Not just like, you know, John was talking about specifically like the chapel or whatever, which is not on the main cell blocks. Oh, the cameras never worked in the chapel, so the guys would go back there and, you know, get it on. And you have to like break. You see John in like a janitor fucking prison suit, like taking them up and being like, guys, break it up. Break it up. Well, it's better than having 47 cruise missiles.
Yeah, I mean that you might as well be getting it on in the chapel at that point.
There was a guy on Instagram the other day. Shout out my boy Sognick. He sent me this clip, but the now famous clip of John Kiriakou on Diary of a CEO, where he told the story about Colin Powell coming to him asking who they would need to assassinate in Iraqi intelligence in the early 1990s and what the address was. And John gives him the address, and he closes the story by saying, we fired 40. I woke up the next morning and I was told we had fired 47 cruise missiles right onto the base. The problem was it was nighttime and everyone was gone, so they just killed the janitor. Which I'm sorry to the janitor.
Oh, no.
I'm going to hell for laughing at that. But like this guy recreated the story where he was acting as the janitor, and it's one of the best things. Like it's just, and then you just see him standing there with tears in his eyes, and there's so bad.
We have lost our ways.
But anyway, back to this FBI report. This is from the Epstein files, FBI internal documents that say after the incident, Redacted was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean that all prior data would be lost, meaning data that maybe you could scrape for other information that you haven't scraped yet, etc. And when they say incident, they're referring obviously to after Epstein was found dead. The warden wanted video. The warden needed the video to work now that Epstein was dead, and so blank, Redacted, was told to start working on the system. Redacted started removing the bad drives in order to rebuild the DVR. Redacted advised that an FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. Literally, the FBI agent did. Redacted also advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and that he had advised personnel at MCC of that. So any tracks that could have been found on other camera angles that may have been working that night, gone. I got another one there for you, dude. See that third one? This is from the Daily Beast. Again, these are all going under the radar while the world is conveniently dealing with a war.
Nice.
That involves the U.S. and Israel, which are the two countries most implicated in these files. Trump's DOJ shredded huge pile of Epstein docs after death.
Great.
Okay, let's scroll down there. Less than a week after disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in a New York jail, the Justice Department under the first Trump administration shredded huge amounts of paperwork. A Bureau of Prisons After Actions team went through the jail and shredded the files. That's what you do. When you go through a jail after a high-profile suicide, you look for papers, you find the nearest shredder, and you play who can shred the fastest. Because it's just customary. You know, I can't think of anything else like from I don't know, Deef, maybe I'm like a little fucked up right now, but from like a priorities perspective, if I were drawing a list of my top 10 priorities of what jobs do I have when I'm going through this scene, number 1, 2, and 3 would be shred everything.
Yeah, they're like, he's dead. We don't need this anymore.
That's right. We don't need it. It's the old Bill Gates explanation. Well, he's dead. So, all right. A Bureau of Prisons After Action team went through the jail and shredded the files, according to a report detailed by an FBI official whose name has been redacted. The document is part of a tranche of files released by the Department of Justice earlier this year. Redacted had never seen this amount of bags of shredded documents coming out to be put in the dumpster at the rear gate of MCC, the report said. Last week, Epstein hung himself, and there is an ongoing investigation. There was a BOP After Actions team that came, and they are supposed to review what happened, the report continued. The report also indicated that at least one inmate was used to help dispose of the documents in a dumpster. Hey, listen.
Reggie, 15 cigarettes coming your way. I got a job for you. You in?
Bro, we just had telepathy. I was going to say Reggie, and I was literally going to talk about a cigarette trade. That's fucking freaky.
Make it 30. I'll dump all them
Make it
fuckers.
30, it's fucking gone, bro. You imagine like the two hipsters ripping a J out back, like in Brooklyn. They just see a bunch of people and like a prisoner walking out.
They just see Patrice
throwing
O'Neal
files.
throwing stuff into a dumpster. They're like, what's he doing? What the hell?
They do it right in front of you, though, all jokes aside.
Yeah, that's quiet.
And we just say, please, thank you, may I have some more? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for watching the episode. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button on the video. They're both a huge, huge help. And if you would like to follow me on Instagram and X, those links are in my description below.